We love hip
Apologize.
hop.
The Moula first interview dropped the other day. Salute to Moula first. We did another one, another crazy event. Yo,
Give
careful.
a fuck, nigga. Careful what? My guy. You understand? I don't give a I can embarrass myself. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Because like I said, I have everything that I ever wanted in life. I've got the most beautiful girls ever that I wanted to get.
The table, I had to wipe some shoe marks off of the table earlier. Okay. It was crazy, right? He addressed a few things as far as him going away and his jail conditions and all the things that happened to him behind bars. And then we got back to the Twice stuff. I want to apologize to the family of the Reese, the Kochinsky Paquette family, right? For Regis, the mentions of Regis in the interview. In the end of the day, I give everybody a platform to come and get their shit off, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I condone of the things that people are saying when they're on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, apologies to any family, to any of the family members who felt any rehashed trauma from that interview. It's not something that I intend to do when I'm conducting these interviews, but I just felt it was something that needed to be addressed. Otherwise than that, like, what did y'all think about like the interview itself, man? Like, was his point made?
Yeah, I think he made his point, even when he was addressing like the conditions of the jail.
Yeah.
And he did reference like, yo, you have one of your stupid co-hosts who said this, that.
But like, oh yeah, so you want to talk? I seen some idiot on your show. I shouldn't call him an idiot because I'm working on having patience. I apologize. Give a fuck.
But when I was hearing him out, I'm like, you know what? Like, he makes valid points in terms of like, it shouldn't be like this. It's not fair. There are people who are suffering in there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like I said, like, I do see that side. And I also see the side where it's like, okay, well, there has to be some sort of like accountability. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not sure why certain people are in there. And like he said, like, what if you just got arrested and like, you haven't been convicted or anything? They just bring you there.
Yeah.
And then now you're under bad treatment. So I felt like he did bring good awareness to that. And it seems like he was well received in there. So honestly, yeah, I didn't have a problem with him saying that. And like, sometimes, like you said, like you have opinions and then you learn more information and your opinions change.
Yeah.
He was getting at you?
Yeah.
He didn't get at me.
You got both Czar and Dusty.
He didn't get at us. He just disagreed with our perspective on it.
Okay.
When we were out, we were having a discussion about jail conditions and whether bad jail conditions are necessary or not, type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Zara had the mega stance.
I'm like, yo, they're criminals. Why should they be treated luxuriously?
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, yo, like, I don't know what it's like in there. If he's gone in there and he's telling us what it's like I could take your word for it. And it's like, based on how you're describing it, that's not good. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Natural? I got a couple more questions on this because like, a lot has happened from that interview. What do you think about like
and
the results?
For that part of it, I see both sides. Like, I do see what Zara's saying. I see what Moula is saying. Like, I lean more towards what Moula is saying because like, but how many people are getting arrested that like are completely innocent though?
A lot. I've been arrested and been innocent.
Okay. Right.
And then just gone straight to jail?
Yeah, well, I was already on parole. And they were like, no, you did this, we're taking you back. And I was like, it's not even anywhere near what you're talking about.
I think it's a matter of if you've had priors or not.
Yeah.
Like, if he got charged like that and that was his first charge, he probably would have got a promise to appear. Some type of thing. But because maybe he's a repeat offender, that, okay, you're going straight to the bin type.
Yeah. I will say this about the interview itself, for the people who even like who've done time. I don't like the glorification of the time part. You know what I'm saying? Where he was like, and I know he wasn't saying it like the conditions were good, but he was like, for me, it was like this and it was all good. They treated me great. That's all well and good when you put it into a 1 week or 10-day whatever thing. Okay? And this might be a message to Moula first as well. It doesn't necessarily pan out the same way if you might have to spend a few months. You know what I mean? Maybe you're waiting for your trial for almost a year. You know what I'm saying?
And they're moving you around.
They're moving you around from range to range. You know what I'm saying? That, oh, it was glorious and sweet doesn't always apply. So I just want people to keep that in mind. Like, nah, you know, I'll let people get their shit off, and I'm not going to be like, no, jail's rougher than that. Like, you don't know. But like, I got to say that after from a reaction to the interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, never downplay jail, because that 1 week is one thing. Another person who might do a week might get their head kicked in every single day.
No, it's true.
And that week feels like a year. And then and for the people who nothing happened in a week, like I said, a month, a whole lot of shit could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And my kind of follow-up question is, let's say like they fixed the conditions of jail and it was abiding by their rules. You could still get just brunched by some dude. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the system does or the institution cannot control the individual action. So it's like you could fix all that stuff and still get like something bad happen to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
But I do think that like, because there's so much overcrowding, but like, you know, like they're for profit and stuff. So they want to make as much as they can. And they want to like cram as many people in there as they can.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it does create even worse conditions when you have 3 mans in a 2-person cell. Because like, even one day I was in one of those, you know what I mean? And then like, now there's a whole new dynamic, like who's taking the floor? You know what I mean? Like,
that can cause squabbles.
Bro, how are 3 criminals deciding this right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
and you're saying if the conditions are poor, there's probably more likelihood that someone's going to misbehave because like they feel like they're already being violated and disrespected.
That example right there, 3 man in a cell, the guy who's going to sleep on the floor might have to get into a squabble and find out, I'll take the floor because I lost a squabble. Exactly. You losing a squabble could send you to the infirmary.
No, exactly.
That squabble didn't have to happen if it was just 2 man in a cell. You take the top bunk, you take the bottom bunk.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
And even that in itself could cause a beef if it's just 2 man in a cell. So imagine 3.
Yeah.
You know, and it's worse than 3. Sometimes it's 4, I heard.
No, yeah, that's not right. And
they're going crazy over there.
No, I agreed with him saying like there needs to be some sort of reform, but I didn't like how he was getting at Twy and the Reese family and like saying those things, because those are some pretty big claims and like you said, like traumatic.
I didn't see the interview. I understand if you guys don't want to re-say what he said, but like,
no, he was just making some allegations about the way that she passed.
Okay.
Right.
He word for word said like Twy, quote unquote, like unalived his own sister, which is like, and it's like a documented event. Like there was like coverage and stuff, and it's just like it's not fair to the family, even if you feel like that. Like, I don't know, it's kind of disrespectful.
Something that should be left out of an interview.
Yeah, but what I did notice is that clip of him standing did some numbers.
I've seen that.
That was kind of like legendary content wise. And I feel like he is still relevant. He didn't really lose relevance through this, but I do start to see this kind of narrative popping up where it's like, okay, you're doing all these antics, but like, are the antics bigger than the music at this point? Like, what tunes are you dropping? You know what I'm saying? Because Saf 4X is probably still the hottest rapper right now. But like, Moula's doing a lot of like media in that sense.
So, let me ask you guys a question that I asked Moula and I asked K Money the other day too. Can a Toronto rapper, let's keep it Toronto, can a Toronto rapper have motion without drama?
No, but I don't think anyone can have motion without drama. Like anyone.
Interesting.
You have to have haters and stuff.
I think so.
Tell me why.
Because like we're literally in like the TikTok age, you know what I mean? Like I don't even, if Sav has drama, I have no idea about it, you know what I mean? But I'm still seeing his stuff going crazy. If he has drama, I don't think the Americans that are like using his sounds know about it. I think they just hear his like weird accent, but like the hard bars and like the crazy flow. And then it just kind of like people are gravitating towards it. You know?
He does have drama though.
He has drama.
A lot of drama, but keep going. No, because like your example is true, but maybe not about Sav.
But the thing is, Sav's drama is light in comparison to the previous Toronto rappers' drama that we've encountered. You know, like even his drama, which is like a diss track or like people saying he's an industry plant. You know what I'm saying? Underground Nation dropping diss tracks. You know, shout out, as I said, he went in. He's like, burgers and fries.
Yo, he's gonna clip this a million times.
We're gonna see this everywhere on his IG page. Like that is minor in comparison to like the real life like criminal drama that we see with some rappers.
Yeah, to a degree. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like...
Okay, I should just say Sav's drama is not outweighing his music at all. No
It's
pun
not.
on the outweigh.
But that's not the thing. Like, the drama doesn't... I'm not asking if the drama outweighs the music. Does it have to be there for that rapper to get more emotion? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of rappers in the city that a lot of people don't know about. You know what I'm saying? But they're not in like they're not getting reposted on all the different blog pages because of this or that. Like that kind of brings attention to that person's name.
That is true. That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
And in that case, I will agree with Zaren. Like I guess you do need a story. You know what I mean? Like you can't just rap good, bro.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of people just rap good, you know? Like there has to be something that kind of like makes you stand out.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between both of y'all points. Like, yes, drama does definitely help. It fast track shit. But if you know how to like be viral in other ways, you know, you can cultivate an audience off of just like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to...
Nah, bro. Yo, okay. The only type of music I feel like can prosper in the city without drama in that sense is like the Young Tuna, like the Dagger Rhythm Cypher, like that type, because it's like you're just gonna hear their song everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with other people where it's like we don't even hear too much Toronto music when we go out in Toronto.
That's true.
But we know them from like their numbers on Instagram or their numbers on YouTube or like their media drama.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is probably why like the Toronto audience expects drama, because that's how we identify our artists with. We don't necessarily identify with their music in the same way that like, but I feel like the Young Tune Up, like that type, they don't need drama because like they're just viral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they went viral from recording their song in multiple different platforms.
Yeah.
Like those guys, when they came here, they made like 5 TikTok videos before they left.
Yeah.
They were on it. Like, yo, no, let's do it again this way. Okay, now let's do another one, but from this angle over here. And they just kept on doing the song over and over again. And then they spread it to different platforms. You could maybe pay a creator to dance to your shit.
Yeah.
And then now you're viral without the drama.
Even there's an artist named Jaleel on TikTok. If you're scrolling on TikTok, you've heard his song Flavor or whatever. Like, what he does, he just gets like viral clips and he puts his song over it.
Yeah.
But he spams it. Like he drops like at least 15 videos a day with his song over it. And that you hear it so much. Like I downloaded the song and I bump it now because I just heard it so much on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's a new wave.
Motion without drama. So there's ways of doing it, right? That might take a little bit more work. Right? Like that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah,
but there's no drama involved. Or you can be like, yo, I'm smoking on your deads. Boom, fast track.
But that's the reason why like it's essential is because you're making drill music. So you're literally making music almost about drama, but like street drama and like street politics. So it's like, of course, we're gonna expect your personality to match the music that you're putting out.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're making like dancing music or like just gal tunes or whatever, like you don't really have to prove to the audience that you're like about a certain life.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to pull up with a couple shorties. That's it.
Well, I think you do have to prove that you're about a certain life, just not that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because like if you're making swag rap and you have no swag, I'm not bumping it.
Yeah.
If you're making gal tunes and you have no gal, I'm not bumping it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Okay, well, I wanted to get that, and that's going to lead us into our next topic. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen, and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.